Good day everyone, Loki here. So I wanted to make a video about the closed beta that is currently happening in XDefiant, but I kind of ran into this problem where I would try to list all of the positives before I would get into the negative that is happening with the closed beta test, because the closed beta has a bunch of issues. So I'm just going to be very upfront about that, so that hopefully I don't get mad about myself being negative about the beta, even though I really like the game. The game is fun. The game is really fun. If you have ever played one of the older Call of Duty games back in the day, like Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, they have very much designed the game in a way where it feels like it would right fit in that period of gaming, and that also makes sense because the executive producer on XDefiant is actually the executive producer that worked at Infinity Ward between I think 2005 and 2015. So yeah, they oversaw Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 I think as well. So that makes a lot of sense. It feels like it fits right in there. It has that same speed. It has incredibly fast reloading on the level of Modern Warfare 3. And because of that, the flow and the instant fighting that you do all the time, you can literally just fly around the map at max 7, shoot people all the time, be in fights all the time. Sadly, because of the extreme speed that the game's got going on, that also means that if there is lag happening, or if there is desync happening, as we are experiencing during the closed beta right now, it becomes a not that great of a game. It becomes quite a mess, and that is okay, it is a beta, I do accept that.
Yeah, so right there, I don't know if some of those bullets actually... We killed them! Well, I mean, there you go. That should say enough about the desync.
I am a little bit worried at the moment because back before they started doing crossplay, before, there were NDAs on sharing the gameplay, but there weren't NDAs on sharing the information about what was happening. They had some tests and I participated in those which were PC only, and I don't remember there being a lot of desync. And then they did a crossplay beta a little while back that was under NDA, and then now this beta, and now we have a lot of desync issues, which I don't know if that is because of the crossplay, but it feels like it, which is a shame. And I would really like crossplay to be there because I enjoy playing with people on console. I enjoy playing with friends that are not on PC. You're partying up, which actually is another thing that currently isn't available in the beta. You can see each other online on your Ubisoft friend list, but there is no inviting. It just doesn't work. The invite never arrives. So that currently is broken as well, which is a pretty frustrating experience. You can still get together into a match with your friends, but you kind of have to go in there and count down for when you're ready to matchmake, and of course you have to roughly live in the same area for this to work, and then matchmake, which it's great that that works. And the reason why that works is actually another thing that XDefiant is pushing as well. It's a game without skill-based matchmaking, or at least the regular quick play that the game's got going on is without skill-based matchmaking, which I don't really care too much about skill-based matchmaking, but I do. It's very double. You know, having experienced a couple of years of Call of Duty with fairly strong skill-based matchmaking, you end up getting a lot of matches where everyone is running the meta, and you kind of have to conform to that meta if you want to play in an optimal fashion. If you start being too good, you get into a matchmaking that might push you towards that meta more and more, keeps compounding on each other, and you get into harder and harder matchmaking where even more people have started to conform to the meta, and because of that, everyone ends up running the same guns, the same attachments, everything's the same. So now with that not being the case, with the regular quick play inside of XDefiant, hopefully we'll see a lot more weapon variety, and people will actually play in a lot of different ways, and you will obviously come up against people that will be running the meta, and you will be coming up against people that are really good, and you will sometimes find people that are really bad at the game. It will be just a regular mix because the game is actually trying to ping-based matchmake rather than skill-based matchmake, which is a big difference. At the same time, obviously, they have a ranked mode, and the ranked mode will have skill-based matchmaking because obviously it should, because that's what a ranked mode is for. Anyway, gameplay-wise, I really like the game. Gameplay-wise, I think it is in a good spot when it works, because, sometimes you do get a match where everything works, but sadly, most of the time, it seems that you run into these desync issues where either the entire match, everyone's desyncing, you get killed around the corner, you are killing people after you die, the worst thing is that their movement gets desynced, where their body seems to be moving to the left, but they end up moving to the right, and because of the speed, it becomes a worse issue because, you know, they are able to move around very, very quickly, but now they're moving around very, very quickly while their hitbox also doesn't match up with where they're moving, and everything becomes a huge freaking mess. Whatever they do, essentially, I'm very much looking forward to a free-to-play Call of Duty alternative. It won't be the Call of Duty killer. I know people have been saying that, but it's not a Call of Duty killer, it's a Call of Duty alternative. And I also still really enjoy Call of Duty, so it's fine to me either way. But whatever they do, they need to put it back into the oven, they need to fix the server issues, and before they do their next public outing, because, you know, I'm sure they run another beta in the future before the game actually comes out, or at least I hope so. I hope that they go back in and they actually go and make the servers work, because this is also some fairly bad PR. You end up starting this fight where half the people are saying, well, obviously you should have expected this, it's a beta. And then you have the other people that are saying like, no, it's not a beta, it's a demo. And there is a little bit of truth to that, of course, to both. You never really quite know with huge companies like Ubisoft if what you're playing is a demo or a beta, although I think you can be fairly sure in the case of XDefiant, and here, this is their first non-NDA beta. I'm going to assume that they felt like they had tested enough under NDA that they could now remove the NDA and it would be all good, and then hopefully release as soon as possible, because the release window for a game such as this very much is halfway through the life cycle of a Call of Duty. Of course, Battlefield hasn't released last year, but Call of Duty releases every holiday season, and that won't be any different this year, most likely. So the best time to release a game such as XDefiant that tries to kind of push onto that space is to do it sometime in the middle of summer. Anyway, guys, that was a thing. I'm just gonna put this out there into the world, and I hope somebody got something out of me blabbering on about XDefiant for a little while, because goddamn, I try to be positive in some ways, but there is also inherently something negative. Also, have you seen these clips of people playing XDefiant where they're just fucking zooming around, looking left, right, blah, 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 like looking every single direction, and somehow they are pretending like this is the elite gameplay while they're playing XDefiant? You don't have to throw your camera all around to do well movement-wise. Like, maybe you feel like you do, like you have to aim very weird, but you don't have to, believe me. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like. If you aren't subscribed yet, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!